You must understand this. You have never truly seen the world as it is. What you see is merely a reflection, a distorted image formed in the mirror of your mind. This mirror is shaped by your perceptions, prejudices, and identifications. If you were a grasshopper, your view of the world would be entirely different. If you were a tiger, your reality would be limited to basic instincts: food, survival, and little more. For humans, evolution has provided a relatively clearer mirror, but it is still far from perfect. The human mind has the capacity to reflect the world with greater clarity than most creatures. Yet the distortions arise from the attachments, biases, and conditioning we accumulate throughout life. If your mind is heavily identified with something, be it beliefs, emotions, or experiences, you no longer see reality as it is. Instead, your mind warps it to fit your preconceptions. The mind is a mirror. A polished mind is like a smooth mirror. It reflects the world more accurately, but still doesn't capture reality itself. It's only a reflection. Think of an old mirror, hundreds of years old. Countless faces might have been reflected in it, but none of them left a trace. Similarly, your mind reflects everything your senses perceive at the moment, but it retains nothing of substance. And yet, there is one thing the mirror of the mind can never reflect: you. You cannot see yourself directly because you are always behind the mirror, observing. This means you never truly experience the world as it is, nor do you fully understand the one observing it. You. Life's greatest realization. Most people spend their lives watching reflections on this mental mirror, mistaking them for life itself. When the end approaches, many are bewildered because they realize they never truly lived. They never saw life as it was, nor discovered who was behind the mirror. Only those who have experienced profound moments, whether through joy, pain, or transformative events, break free from this illusion. For such individuals, the mirror of the mind shatters, even if briefly, allowing them to glimpse a deeper reality. Living beyond the mirror. To truly live, you must either see creation as it is, or experience the one behind the mirror. Without either, life becomes a fleeting play of reflections, devoid of depth or meaning. The activities of the body and mind, thoughts, emotions, and sensations, become the sole satisfaction for most people. But this is not the essence of life. We don't need to destroy the mirror. We need to learn how to slip behind it. This is not about rejecting the mind, but about gaining mastery over it. Understanding geometry and the mind. The simplest and most stable geometric form is a triangle. Even the human body, in its posture and movement, can be broken down into countless triangles. For example, when someone stands in a certain way, you can begin to observe the geometry of their form. At first, you may see only a few triangles. But as your perception sharpens, you'll start to see dozens, then hundreds, even thousands of triangles. This practice isn't about geometry alone. It's a way to exercise your mind, sharpening its ability to perceive and break things down into their most fundamental forms. When your mind becomes adept at this, your imagination gains vivid clarity. You'll be able to create mental images that are as real and precise as what you see in your dreams. Except now, you'll do it consciously. Mastering the mind. This level of mastery takes effort and discipline. It's not about creating fantasies or fulfilling desires, like winning the lottery or achieving superficial goals. Instead, it's about transcending the limitations of the mind to access deeper dimensions of life. Right now, most people live within the confines of their minds, experiencing only thought and emotion, shallow, two-dimensional reflections. Life itself remains untouched. By gaining mastery over the mind, you can slip behind it and experience life directly. This requires subtlety and practice. It's not a shortcut or trick. It's a profound shift in perception that allows you to move through the mind without being trapped by it. The practice of mastery. Mastering the mind doesn't mean becoming enslaved to newfound capabilities. Some might use these abilities recklessly, to heal others, manipulate outcomes, or chase material gains, but this is not the purpose. Such misuse can lead to disaster, both for oneself and others. The true purpose of mastering the mind is to transcend it, to go beyond its reflections and discover the essence of life. This requires focus, dedication, and a willingness to pay the price of attention. If you think your life is worth only a minute of focus, give it a minute. If you believe it's worth an hour, give it an hour. But if you understand the infinite potential of life, then dedicate yourself entirely to it. Discovering life beyond reflections. Most people remain stuck in the endless cycle of observing their mental reflections, never realizing the depth and beauty of what lies beyond. To live fully, you must learn to look past these reflections and experience the reality of your being. This is not about creating new tricks or achieving external success. It's about discovering the profound stillness and joy of existence. With the right practice, you can pass through the mind so subtly that even the mind doesn't know you've transcended it. The journey begins with focus, patience, and the willingness to look beyond the mirror. Only then can you taste life for what it truly is.